So you've hit $100,000 in investments. Let's just stop right there. Round of applause. Congratulations. That is a huge accomplishment that a lot of people will never see. So you should be extremely proud of getting there. Now, what makes 100,000 so monumentous? Now, the first aspect of this is mental. It is a huge difference from going from 5 figures to 6 figures in your investments. Hitting 6 figures is a huge milestone in your wealth building journey. It is a step that everyone who has above 100,000 will remember. Now, there's also some growth that you really start to see at this amount of money. Now, assuming you are in a pretty good investment and make about 10% a year, your $100,000 is going to grow by $10,000 by itself. You don't have to do anything, contribute anything, and theoretically, it will grow that amount by itself. Now, this is huge and an even bigger impact if you contribute, say, $500 a month. Your investment of $100,000 is now making way more than you are contributing to that account. So very big milestone there, and definitely one to celebrate. At this point, you probably feel pretty comfortable with investing and you have the right foundation set up to help you build even more on top of this. 100,000 is a key milestone in getting to 1 million. Now, at this point, the amount of money is pretty significant, so I would recommend making sure that you are using every tax strategy that you can to try to reduce the amount that you are paying in tax, and making sure that you hold the correct investments in the correct types of accounts so that way you avoid being taxed extra. A lot of times it can just be a simple rearranging of the types of investments you have within each account to maximize your wealth building for these investments. For example, if you do have a REIT or a GIC in a normal investment account, not within any of like the TFSAs or RRSPs, those will be taxed at your marginal rate. Whereas if they were held within a TFSA or RRSP, the tax implications would be a lot different, right? So just knowing those strategies and maximizing your investment portfolio so that you can start to know the different tax strategies and where you should hold each investment. Because at this point, you are starting to get quite the big nest of funds, and the more that this amount grows, the more these types of concerns will affect you and the more they will cost you. So just make sure that you do look into these and kind of maximize your tax strategy. This is also probably a good time to just reflect on this $100,000 that you have in investments, looking back and seeing what worked well, what could be improved, and then kind of mapping out how you want your future investments to look like and the different strategies that you have for asset allocation within your different accounts. This will ensure that you continue doing whatever is working and stop doing things that aren't working well. This way you can set yourself up for the next $100,000 and then eventually leading your way up to $500,000 and then potentially $1 million. So just making sure that you are set up for success in how you're going to get there. I would also suggest setting up your next financial milestone. Say that's 200,000, 300,000, 500,000, whatever it is. And then I would also think of some sort of reward if you do hit that milestone or for when you do hit that milestone, like opening a bottle of champagne, going out for dinner, whatever it is that makes you happy that you can celebrate, because it is a huge milestone and it's important that we celebrate our wins so it doesn't just feel like we're going. Like, it's important that when you do have money to celebrate and to take the time to do things that you really enjoy, because what is all of this for if you're not taking that time to celebrate your wins and celebrating yourself a bit? Because hitting 100,000 is a huge milestone, but it isn't the center of your life. So just remember what you were doing all of this for and really have your goal set and clear so that way you can continue working towards it. So again, great job on hitting this milestone. I am so proud of you and I wish you luck for your next milestone. All right, see you next time. Bye.